Hi, viewers, listeners, and subscribers. Thank you for joining us on our On the Record show with your host, Anwar Cole, as we listen and share the views. And in studios, or in our virtual studio, we have our guests who will be sharing on a topic. So, on our podcast, however, we talk about various topics, life tips, deep thoughts, and conscious creative content to get you through the day. So, ask a question, comment, and join us on our next episode. Right. So, before us, we have a lovely lady who is joining us for our first rebroadcast. But I will allow her to introduce herself to the audience.
Hi, Mr. Cole, you're freezing again. I am Melissa Carter-Linton. I'm an auditor and I'm an author. I'm a Christian and I'm a mother. I'm also an introvert. Mr. Cole, are you there?
Yes, my apologies. All right, so we heard you saying, is the audio clearer? My unfreezable now.
Sorry?
And you can see me now, right? And they're hearing me clearly.
Yes, I think you need to stop using some of those apps because it's affecting what you're doing.
See here.
Did you hear my response to your query?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. All right, let's just pick up. I think maybe it's our connection, but we will continue. All right, so tell us about, as you're saying, also one of the introverts. Can you give a little bit more in depth on what that is for some of our audience?
Which one in particular?
The
Everything?
introvert, yeah, well, the introverted part, or even if you want to elaborate on all the three areas in there.
Well, as an auditor, in my daily duties, I ensure that I protect stakeholder values and add value to the business. As an author now, I write to articles and I've written a book with the hope of spreading the gospel and also help persons daily to, I guess, manage life, basically to help. And being an introvert, yes, I like my alone time. I really appreciate my alone time. That's where I have gather my thoughts together and where I write, I'll be able to concentrate on the message that I'm going to put across, which is through my writing.
All right, so I'd pause the video. All right, so we have your book here, and I hope all our audience can see it. It's titled From Bitterness to Betterness, Principles to Change Your Outlook on Life. All right. And we have the author, Melissa Carter Linton. Got the name correct, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, can you now share what is your motivation behind your writing?
Well, first, I wrote the book because I wanted to leave a legacy for my children, one, and I wanted to highlight the issues of unplanned parenting and how that affects the child or all parties in general. So, the aim of the book is to help persons, even though you might not know what you're doing or you started off rough, you can still make it in the end with God's help.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. Our next question is, what emotions or feeling do you hope to gain from your readers?
Well, I hope my readers become empowered and they, for persons suffering from low self esteem, I hope that they would develop their self confidence and know that other persons don't control who you become or your future. You are in charge of your life. So you can do all things with God's help. It's not impossible for you to move from where you are now if you're
All right.
struggling.
Thank you. Do you think it is vital for a writer to give vivid real life details, or do you edit to make it more appealing? Also, do you like to give that real life or make it more appealing to the audience? Or
Well, yes, you can give real life experiences. For example, you want to tell probably somebody how to ride a bicycle. You're gonna say first you do this and you do that, so you make it clear on how you did it, how you were able to become successful. So again, I think it depends on the context in which you are writing about. If you're thinking, from my point of view, I'm writing to help persons. So if um, I think what I am writing, I could put more of myself into it to help somebody there, then that's what I'll do. But again, it depends on the context because I write about several different things at different times.
all right, and this style of writing, what is your inspiration?
My inspiration is to first spread the gospel. So in my articles, I would write about the Bible and try and relate it to my life experiences. To let persons know that basically to break down the Bible for persons in a everyday life because it's a very practical book, the Bible. So my motivation for writing is to help persons and to let them see that there's a better life with Christ. Basically.
All right, thank you for that. Right, and well, hopefully I'll try to get this question out. All right. In that, I guess compared to our prior discussion, it was so captivating. I know you mentioned that the part of it. But there's a question to bring that out, so I'll not jump it too far. So, what would you say to those who might be living a story worth telling?
Well, for persons that they have a story that they think that their life would be a blessing to somebody else, or their struggles, or they came out of whatever situation they would help somebody else. They could write about it. There are avenues on the internet, and as I was saying to you earlier, you can enter the JCDC competition. That's an avenue for you to get your talent, to get your material out, because not everybody will be able to publish a book. So you could start with a Jamaica Development Commission writing competition.
All right. And then now, yes, and this would have been one of the questions. So, what's is your your greatest challenge? As it relates to whether your greatest challenge in writing a book or in getting to this state that you are now.
Well, so the greatest challenge was um to take the characters from the beginning of the book to the end of the book, to give them life and to let the readers be able to follow their process or their progress throughout the story, and basically to show persons that yeah, you can do it. Yeah, I've never written a book before, and it took a while to get it to where it is now. So basically, to just keep pressing on despite the challenges, because there's greatness within you.
Awesome. And tell us now about the process. As it would have started. I guess you would have said from you having this. As personal is write on papers or scribble on something, and then now to kind of complete the thought to be able to know to be the stage in which you have a masterpiece. You have a production, and it is now a complete manuscript. So tell us about that process. From
Well,
yes.
well, first, as I stated earlier to you, I don't write alone. Most my inspiration are the thoughts I get them from the Holy Spirit. So when He gives me a thought, I'll write it down on pen and paper, and then I'll write everything I know at that particular point around that thought, and then I'll stop and do more research, give my brain some time to rest, and then go at it again. But basically, I I write on the instructions from the Holy
what is your driving force now as a writer to continue on this journey of you know writing contents and being able to manage all the aspects of your life? What is that driving force that you
to manage all the aspects of my life. So I try to separate my life in different parts. My day job, I'm an auditor, and I'm also a parent. So I have to try and keep it in little boxes
essential?
to manage. So I try to keep my brain organized, and then also writing things down also helps. You put stuff in your calendar that helps you to manage your life as well. And the driving force behind writing is to honor God because I think He has been very good to me, and this is an avenue in which I can tell persons about Him. So my driving force behind writing is to honor God with my talent.
That's right. Yes, while you were talking, I was saying, wow, this is a talent, and I see you mention it. So, we know there are several persons who have several other talents, and they are not using it to the full potential. But here you're saying it's a talent in which you are using it to give back or to be a blessing to someone. So, encouraging all the viewers, listeners, whatever talents you have, to use it, and one day it will be beneficial in the end. One day you'll probably be as famous as Miss Militia. All right. So the next question is, do you think that this could be in screens or in other media?
Well, it could. It is at the it has it's a high quality. It's a high quality production. Yes, I believe it can make it to the big screen. But in the short term, I'm focusing on expanding my network, and also trying to boost my book sale and thus lay the foundation, sorry, for where it is to go.
All right. And we see you did a promo. I will leave it as an insert in part of the video to let all the viewers see. And it was so well put together that if someone would have watched it and say, "Wow, is this a movie or is this a book?" And I tell you, I when I saw the lady walking, I was saying, "Is that really Miss Linton?" She
No,
didn't do the reveal. It didn't do the face reveal, so I was left wondering. So, you
it
know,
wasn't me. It's the publisher. My publisher did that,
awesome. All
right?
right.
So
Yeah. So it's a good start there, and I must commend it. Uh, Someone else joining me just
right. So if you're interested in writing a book, Daylight Publishers, they're the publishers that I've used. Crystal Day is the COO, so you can contact. She has her website, so you can visit it as well. So Daylight Publishers are crystalday.com.
you want to share the website?
I'm not looking at it now, but if you just Google Daylight Publishers, Daylight
Yeah,
Publishers, or you can look up Crystal Day,
yes, yes, because
right? So you'll
I
find
saw
her.
that. I saw the
Yeah,
DAYE. All right, let me
right.
admit this person. I guess I joined, but I should have done it in which they were just be able to can join. All right, while we continue, our next question is: as a writer, do you think it is important to be a character in your story? And I already say a question, and from my long question, I won't ask it, but do you think it is important to be a character in your story?
So as I stated earlier, it depends on what the message you're trying to bring across. Like if you're trying to say to somebody, "Oh, I made it. This is what I did." Um, yes, you can do that, but your way of doing it might not work for somebody else. So, and then probably you don't want the focus to be on you, but you want to look at the bigger issue. So you can probably write your story in such a way that the issue is highlighted and not you per se as an individual, because your issue probably affects another 100 persons. So it depends on what is being written about. Could be, so if it's a personal issue, you could put yourself in there. It's a social issue, then you highlight that. So I'm thinking it's based on the context that you're writing in at the time.
Right. Your story has a rich history and uses several literacy devices. How do you ensure that that is present in your work or in all your writings?
So, as I stated earlier, I don't write alone, right? And I had to ask my daughter what literacy devices was, and when she looked it up, I remember it was something from high school.
Yeah.
I don't remember those stuff, to be honest with you. So, as I stated earlier, my inspiration and help is from the Holy Spirit. So, as I write, I'm getting the ideas. So, if it turns out that it has all the simile and metaphors and all those things in there, I had nothing to do with it. I'm just the vessel that he's using.
Awesome. All right. So give us a 1 minute summary of the book.
Okay, so my book, From Bitterness to Betterness, it captures the life of a young girl named Jeannie, sorry, who had a rough start in life. And mainly because of her parents didn't plan properly for her arrival. So she went through some tough times, but at the end of the day, she was able to find a value system in church, and that helped her to become the woman she was, to overcome unforgiveness, to release the bitterness that she held and moved on to betterness. And it's a rich resource. It can be read by anyone, not just females. And it also is very handy for parents as well, so that we can future proof the future generations in terms of our emotional development and such, build our children's self confidence. Thank you.
Yes, and so
Over the
yes, she has done it again. Her 5 minute book review. I guess 1 minute is too short of a time to speak on the book. However, though, that she said, it is there in which move from a stage of bitterness to betterness, right? And it's a story that can be shared amongst any gender, parents, single persons as well, single parents, and it is beneficial to give you some tips. She had mentioned in our previous session that there are some tips to kind of assist persons to be better in whatever they're doing, right? So some good real life principles coming not just from an author who have done a research, but also from a mother, right? And then we should be able to share that. So our final question, I think, we had more questions. How can viewers, listeners, view your digital footprint or your work?
Okay, so I am on LinkedIn as Melisha Carter Linton. I'm on Facebook as Melisha Carter. I'm on Instagram as Melisha Carter Writes. And I can send WhatsApp to 876-214-6740.
With the number.
214-6740.
So yes, while I was putting the ad up, and I don't know why it took so long to do it, but um what someone asked me where I could where they could purchase the books. I mean, though at the end of it, there was available on Amazon on Kindle. So her book
Well,
is
I have physical copies. If you're in Kingston or St. Catherine,
that's right.
I could locate you. And I think there are a few copies at Brian's. I'm not sure of the location, but my publisher put some in Brian's. I think it's the one in Kingston.
All right,
So
so there she have it. The soft copy, Kindle, Amazon. Hard copies are in Brian's bookstore are in Jamaica, we also have for our international clients as well. We can source some copies for you, and you can send us an email, send her an email, and we can get those out to you. Right? So there are copies available. We know it is easy to read the digital copy, but getting your personal copy, in which if you can pass this down, as there are several things about history and generation. This is a book, one of those books that, following these principles and passing them down to, those future generation is important and essential. Would implore all viewers, listeners, to link us up and get your copy of the book, right? And for those who are interested in supporting the venture, her social media platform, the LinkedIn. She gave her
Great.
WhatsApp handle, her IG, and Facebook, and
Say email.
an
So it's
email.
melishacarter.business@gmail.com.
All right, so the email is melishacarter.business
At
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. All right, so that's MELLISHA, Carter, you said, right?
CAR
CARTER dot
dot
business
business
at
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
All right. So today we have the lovely pleasure of joining us on our virtual set, the author of this book here, From Bitterness to Betterness, Principles to Change Your Outlook on Life. And I am very captivated by what I have read so far. I think I've reached about halfway in the book, if I'm being honest. Yes. So I have. Did I ask you what part of the story did you consider most challenging? Oh no, I think what did I skip that question out?
Yes, I think you didn't ask that one. So, what I would say was the most challenging part of the story was to take the encounters that the main character had with like the Holy Spirit or God and put it into try and break it down so that persons who are not Christian, sorry, would have that be able to kind of understand because not everybody would have that one-on-one experience with the Holy Spirit. So just try to break it down in such a way that anybody can understand that part
Okay,
because it's a relationship that takes time to build. So probably it's a growing process to break it down for a person so that they can understand. You can have a relationship with God.
awesome. So in getting the characters and relating the story to the theme that you want to bring out, and how the characters portray that, right? In a nice sense. So speaking on still having the idea of the story, but relating it to their relationship with God, and how they would interact. So, right. Yes. Is there any question, anything worthwhile saying before we dismiss?
Well, I would say get your copy. It will help you, or probably a teenager or somebody, anybody. It can be read by anybody, and I think it's a good resource for parents, children, anybody to help you if you want to be motivated and to move from bitterness to betterness.
Okay.
It will be a good resource for you.
Yes, I already have my signed copy, so when she reaches that platinum level, I can say yes, I have this copy. Probably worth hefty sum after a while, so I'll keep this copy.
Yeah, but
And
we pray.
yes, and there are several works that she has, but it is promoting this book that is in the pipeline. All right, so thank you for joining us on our On the Record show. Please join us again. Yes.
Yes, I forgot to mention, as you said, other works. I also have three articles on ChristianLiberty.com, so you can go there and read them as well. Just when you go on there, just go to search and you type in my name, Melisha Carter Layton, and those three articles will appear.
All
You
right,
can
so
read
that's
them.
christianliberty.com. All right, to get an idea of those topics.
Articles.
Could you just give us probably the description of the titles, so we just have a
Wow. So it's three of them. One is to let your life stir up unrighteousness. One is to maintain your peace by when being hard pressed on every side. I think that one was. And the last one was Noah. What are you hiding under? Sorry, Naaman. What are you hiding under your coat?
oh,
Right, because I write so much sometimes I'm not remembering the particulars. Yes, it's a lot of writing. And I have another one that should soon be out that I submitted yesterday.
okay. All right, so you hear that? All those three interesting titles. So go ahead and read the content to get a better understanding of what they're saying. So thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for our next episode when we'll come with another guest speaker or other interesting contents. So thank you for joining us and stay tuned. Bye, Miss Linton.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, I think this one was a bit more success. So let's see the final result of it.
Yeah, obviously. And I was more prepared because last time I was coming off work, I was like a
Yeah,
flustered. So yeah, we'll see how this works out.
awesome. And thank you as well
Bye.
for making the time in your busy schedule to be on our show.